You are Locked On Phillies Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hi, welcome to the program. My name is Mark Farzetta. This right here is Locked On Sports Philadelphia, Locked On Phillies Postcast. It's great to have you along for the ride, and thank you for making Locked On Phillies Postcast your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube as well. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. This particular program brought to you by Prize Picks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use promo code LockedOnMLB for your first deposit match up to $100. I need some help. Here. So I understand giving Bryce Harper a day off. All right, you go into the game today, you look at the lineup, and like, Bryce Harper has a day off. Okay. And they're like, Cal Stevenson's in center field. Okay, interesting. All right, fine. Oh, Edmundo Sosa is going to be playing in the game today. Obviously, you're going to have Alec Boehm at first base. So third baseman's going to be Edmundo Sosa. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so give him the day off. You're facing the Nationals. You should be able to complete the sweep against the Nationals. Your bullpen had the night off the night before, thanks to Christopher Sanchez. So even if Taijuan Walker, even when Taijuan Walker sucks at his job, you'll still have a healthy, fresh bullpen to come in and slam the door. Well, Taijuan Walker sucked at his job. The bullpen allowed 3 runs. Yeah, you got a couple of you got home runs. You had 3 home runs in the game, to which you wasted because you lost. And Bryce Harper doesn't even get an at bat at the end of the Cal Stevenson is the guy that has a bat in his hands when the tying runner's represented at home plate there. Edmundo Sosa squeaks out a 0-2 single up the middle, just barely gets it by. And Cal Stevenson is still batting. Cal Stevenson is the guy that ends this. Now, look, again, I understand giving him the day off. I even understand, and Rob Thompson's used this philosophy before, and he's even used it with Bryce Harper in particular. But gives him a day off, and he said, all right, we got the day off tomorrow. We'll give him the day off today. It's like 2 days off in a row. Hey, you get 2 days off. He gets a weekend, essentially. A baseball weekend, if you will. So he decides to give him the day off and give him the 2 days. But once you realize that you got the tying run coming to the plate, shouldn't that tying run be Bryce Harper? I mean, call me crazy, but I happen to think that Bryce Harper is pretty good at baseball. I also happen to think that he's pretty clutch throughout his career. And I think if you ask anyone ever in the history of the world that had watched a baseball game at some point, I don't know, it just watched that one time, I think anyone would say, Cal Stevenson grabbing a bat or Bryce Harper. I'm going to go with Bryce Harper, and I'm pretty sure anyone ever would go with Bryce Harper. All you have to do, your only credential to make that judgment is you watched a baseball game at some point in your life. Not even if, you know what, I'll even give you this, not even a full inning. Excuse me, not even a full game, maybe an inning. There we go. Anyone, I think, would rather have Bryce Harper grab a bat. And you could still give him the day off. He still gets the day off tomorrow, like the rest of the team. And he got to sit and relax for 8 innings, 8 full innings. And he goes up there in the bottom of the 9th inning and tries to win into the game. I'd feel a lot better about that. But you know what? That's one decision by the manager. So let's get to the full 3 here. All right, let's get to the 3 big things as we do every single time that we do this fine program with you wonderful people. Here you go. Number 3. Let me just start with this. It's a 4-2 homestand. A 4-2 6-game homestand is a winning homestand. That's nice. Good for the Phillies. But it's not exactly announcing your presence with authority the way a 5-1 or 6-0 6-game homestand would again announce your presence with authority, because this for me was all about the Phillies. As I've said throughout this entire homestand, going into it and through the 6 games, this isn't just about the Phillies facing the Marlins or facing the Nationals. This is about the Phillies being better Phillies. And it's not about facing a terrible team like the Marlins, even though we only split with them, or facing a team like the Nationals, who you were 4-1 against going into this series, and now, oh, goodness gracious, you're still pretty damn good against them. But it doesn't announce your presence with authority the way I would have loved to announce their presence with authority. Are the Phillies back is a big question that's been going on throughout this particular homestand. Are they back to what? Back to beating bad baseball teams? Yeah, congratulations. They beat bad baseball teams, especially the Washington Nationals, who have been their punching bag pretty much this season. They beat the Nationals. Cool. 3 of 4. Great. But what really kind of turns the head around the rest of the league is whether or not you're just going to dominate in a series that, quite frankly, you should dominate. And 4-2 is not dominating. It's a good series. And I was hoping the Phillies were going to dominate in this 6-game homestand. 4-2 ain't dominating. 4-2 is like, ooh, maybe that one game goes the other way. All of a sudden you're talking about, talking about 500, talking about one game over. It's not great. Not great. And this was a game that I thought was important. You have the alumni in town. You have fans down there at the stadium taking in the Phillies actually playing some pretty damn good baseball again, winning last night 5-1 with a complete game, and then also not hitting a home run last night, and you still win that game. You put together 8 singles in that game, and you win 5-1, and then you come out today and you're just basically playing catch-up. And you knew you were going to be playing catch-up with Taijuan Walker on the hill. I had some big expectations for him. I was saying, you know what? This is the one he locks in on against the Nationals. 6 innings, 2 runs. Wasn't the case. Couldn't even get through 5 innings. 4 1/3 tonight. But number 3 on the list here is 4-2. 4-2 homestand that's a good homestand. Good homestand. Oh, you face the Nationals and you face the Marlins? Probably should have been 5-1. Probably should have been 5-1. So 4-2, meh. That's how it hits me. Meh. Are the Phillies back? Back to what? Back to being a team that would beat up on some pretty crappy teams? Yeah, they'll certainly back that. They're no longer the crappy team. Like they were playing for like a month, more than that. They're no longer that, so that's good. But are they back to potentially winning the World Series? Like showing me that they could really dominate, and when push comes to shove, they could shove back and push back and all that? Do they look like that again? No, not yet. Go take care of business against the Braves. Go take care of business against the Royals. Go take care of business against the Astros. And then we'll talk about it. They did, statistically speaking, get back to being the best record in baseball yesterday. We'll see how the rest of the day plays out today. But that 4-2 record definitely rubs me the wrong way on this homestand. I said it. I set the table beforehand, so this isn't me to revisionist history. I said going into it, give me 5-1. 5-1 is achievable. Get me 5-1. 4-2, meh. 5-1, that turns some heads. They're 4-2. Number 2 on 3 big things. Yeah, Taijuan Walker is not very good. And he had a chance to actually be good today. He was throwing a lot of pitches. He was laboring. I get it. But holy Stromboli. Couple of different instances tonight. 27-pitch first inning for Taijuan Walker. 12-pitch second inning. 19-pitch third inning. Gets out there in the 4th inning, gives it the 2-run home run to Ruiz. Now, here's the deal. That was a 23-pitch inning there in the 4th inning for Taijuan Walker. Now, here's where I say he had an opportunity to be pretty good. Okay? Phillies had a 2-0 lead going into the top of that 4th inning. He walks Wood. He was up in that count 1-0. Taijuan Walker was up in that count, 1-2. He was up in the count. He made it a 1-2 count. He loses Wood, walks him. So now you got a runner on base. Ruiz steps up to the plate. He throws him an 0-2 sinker up in the zone that Ruiz just looked at and went, oh, I'm going to hit that pretty far. And it went 397 feet to right field, 2-run home run. 386 feet to right field, 2-run home run, just like that. It went from a 2-0 Phillies lead to a 2-2 tie. Going to the 5th inning, Abrams is up there. He's able to ground out for the second out of the inning against Walker. Then Call steps up there. Base is empty. He gets a solo home run. He had him down in the count 1-2. Walker was again leading the count. Couldn't find the put-away pitch. And he goes out there and he gives up a 397-foot home run to left field to Call. And Call gives it a 4-2 lead in favor of the Washington Nationals. They take Walker out of the game. They go to the bullpen at that point, and they bring in Banks. Banks walks the first guy he faces on 4 pitches, and then he gets Ruiz to ground to the fielder's choice to end that inning. Then Banks gives up a home run an RBI single to Blankenhorn to make it a 5-2 game, and it was just struggles continued for the bullpen. Hoffman gave up a long ball. Alvarado didn't look particularly sharp, but at least he got out of his inning unscathed. It was a bit of a rough one for the Phillies tonight as far as pitching and the bullpen went in general. But Taijuan Walker, I'm going to use a phrase that I hear a lot. He ain't it. He ain't him, as they say. He was once a good pitcher. It was brief, but he was once a good pitcher. I'm not talking about the Phillies, but with the Yankees. Or excuse me, with the Mets, excuse me. But I don't know, because there's no better option. Personally, I'd rather see Tyler Phillips continue to get sent out there. I know he just got sent back down to the minors. I'd rather see Tyler Phillips than see Taijuan Walker. And I know in the near future, hopefully in that Royal series, we'll see Ranger Suarez get out there on the hill again, and he'll start dealing, hopefully. But can we be done with the Taijuan Walker thing? I know he's owed a lot of money, and I know you're trying to squeeze every ounce of talent you possibly can out of him, but he ain't it. He ain't it. 3 home runs? Not exactly a great showing tonight. Oh, and by the way, 2 home runs. You know what else is not great? So what do we have? 99 pitches by Christopher Sanchez last night. 99 pitches, Christopher Sanchez, complete game. 99 pitches, Taijuan Walker, 4 2/3. Not fun. We're not having fun. I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun. Not having fun. I mean, I have fun doing the show, hanging out with you guys, but not fun watching Taijuan Walker. And then finally, number 1, it is the leader in the clubhouse. What was Rob Thompson doing in the 9th inning? Did he forget that he had? I heard just before I started the show, like when I get into the studio, I'm listening to the TV, and I hear Schmitty talk about how Harper had a bat in his hands. He was on deck. He was on deck for who? Garrett Stubbs? Or was he on deck? Like, if he was on deck at all, maybe Schmitty didn't. I don't know. Maybe Schmitty described it improperly. I don't know. But the way he said it was, Stubbs is in the box. Harper's got a bat in his hands. I'm like, so what? He was going to pinch hit for Kyle Schwarber? That doesn't make any sense. Or if Sosa is able to come around and maybe Cal Stevenson gets on base, maybe then Harper pinch hits for Stubbs. That's something that would make a little bit more sense. But the bottom line is the situation that did play out tonight, which was Edmundo Sosa gets the 2-strike base hit to lead it off. And Cal Stevenson steps to the plate. Bryce Harper's like right over there. Like he's right there. There's nobody, no other option. There's nothing makes sense other than Bryce Harper grabbing a bat in that situation and stepping up to the plate. That's it. He would represent the game-tying run. At that, and by the way, it would be minimal move. You could put Johan Rojas in center field after that if you wanted to, and not have Bryce Harper playing center. Or Bryce, maybe he plays a corner spot. You move Brandon Marsh to the center field. Like there's other options that you had, and Rob Thompson choosing to just keep playing Cal Stevenson, not cool. Here's what I don't have a problem with Rob Thompson going into the game today saying, "Hey, you know what? We should not need Bryce Harper to win this game today. We shouldn't need him. We got some other guys that can be swinging the bat hot. We don't need him." And then as the game went on, guess who you needed? Bryce Harper. And he still chose to keep him on the bench when you have a day off tomorrow. Now, yeah, there are plenty of instances where I could look at it and go, oh, well, a day off is a day off, and he wanted to give him a day off. But when you have the day off tomorrow, I don't understand it one bit. Make it make sense, Topper, because it makes no sense to me whatsoever. Bryce Harper should have been up there once Edmundo Sosa got on first base. Drives me crazy. Feel like I'm on crazy pills. When we come back, we'll take a look at your comments about this game. We'll also take a look at this bullpen in particular that was a rather disappointing. In all honesty, Taijuan Walker being bad is not a surprise. The bullpen struggling the way they struggled in this game, that was a little surprising. And it really did waste the biggest moment of the game. We'll get to that when we come back. You're Locked On Phillies postcast and the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Back in a second. In the meantime, make sure you like and subscribe to Locked On Sports Philadelphia's YouTube channel. Back in a second. Oh, Prize Picks is always a good time. You guys having fun with Prize Picks? You should be having fun with Prize Picks. I was going to have some fun with Prize Picks today, but didn't have so much luck today, but I hope you did. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And unlike other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. All you got to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the Prize Picks community today. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000. And if you're looking for promotions, Prize Picks has got you covered every week. From the lowest selecting players, that's right, listen to this. From lowering select players' stat projections on Tuesdays to help your lineup hit, or getting your entry fees back if you have a losing lineup on Fridays. You're set up to win here. Download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's LOCKEDONMLB, all lowercase, on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's just that easy with Prize Picks. Once again, thanks for making Locked On Phillies Postcast your first listen. But hey, how about your second listen? Enjoy Locked On MLB podcast with host Paul Sully Sullivan. He's on daily to provide national expertise with his trademark humor and also help you get ready for the MLB playoffs that are just around the corner once we get through the dog days of summer. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day on Locked On MLB, available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Here's what I'm looking at. If I show you the box score and I just show you what Taijuan Walker did tonight, and you see 4 2/3, you see 99 pitches, you see 3 runs. All right, well, 3 runs against the Nationals, then you give the ball to the bullpen. They're going to slam the door against the Nats, right? Especially after a day off. Talk about days off. Bullpen had a day off yesterday. Thank you, Christopher Sanchez. But Tanner Banks, disappointing. Gives you more than an inning. Gives you an inning and a third. He doesn't look too hot. Now, in his last 4 games, he has given up base runners. He's given up 5 hits in the 3 games coming into today, then gives up another 2 hits today, including another run today, and he also walked a batter and gave up 1 earned run. Tanner Banks has not been the lights-out lefty that the Phillies were expecting when they got him in the trade deadline. So that is a little bit of a concern. Jose Alvarado actually goes unscathed in his inning. He goes 1 inning, allows 1 hit, but no walks. No walks, no runs for Jose Alvarado. Matt Strahm came in, and he looked shaky. Wild pitch. He had Garrett Stubbs trying to, pump up his Air Jordans. Or no, what were those? Nike pumps, excuse me. Not Nike, Reebok pumps, I believe they were. Not high enough. Wild pitch. Not great. Not the Matt Strahm that we know and love. Not the all-star Matt Strahm. He struggled in his inning, and then Jeff Hoffman seemed like he was on cruise control before he gave up a long home run. Ended up giving up 2 hits in that inning, 10 pitches. Not the Jeff Hoffman we have come to know and love in recent memory. In total, looking at that 9th inning from Hoffman, he gets called a foul out on a great catch by Alec Boehm. It really helped him out there. And then Wood goes up there, hits the 3-1 fastball, 417 feet to right center field. And then Ruiz pops out to short. Garcia gets the single. Chaparro, flies out to center field. And that was that. So the bullpen, greatly disappointing. And here's what really stunk about it. When the Phillies went down, thanks to some struggling work in the bullpen, they actually answered with 2 struggling bats. And this was the best part of the ball game. So you come out of that 6th inning, and all of a sudden you're down 4-2. That was Blankenhorn's RBI single that he had to right field that brought in Tana. Then Bryson Stott steps up with 1 out in the 6th inning, and he smacks a home run to right field, 359 feet, 4-3 ball game. Then Brandon Marsh, another one struggling coming into today. He gets a fat curveball hung out over the middle of the plate, just hangs up there enough. Marsh swings down on it, hits it 400 feet to center field. 4-4 ball game. You're all tied up. That was the 3rd home run for the Phillies in this one. The first home run came from Trey Turner, courtesy of him in the 3rd inning. He led off the 3rd inning with a long home run to center field that just kept on carrying 410 feet. That made it a 2-0 ball game. And for the 3rd straight game, Nick Castellanos started the scoring off for the Phillies, and this one came in the 1st inning with a one out single to right field. And that got the Phillies going as far as the offense went. But the back-to-back home runs that the Phillies were able to get courtesy of Bryson Stott and Brandon Marsh in the 6th inning, I thought that was all right, good. All right, the Nationals aren't going to score another run on this bullpen. That was wrong. So now the Phillies have an off day. Talk about that when we come back. But first, I do want to get your guys' comments on this one, how you guys are feeling about this loss, why they lost, what you would have done different. 824, Taijuan Walker is awful. He deserves no playing time. His attitude sucks, and his attitude sucks as bad as his pitching. I don't know. I can't speak for his attitude. I just think he knows he's struggling. John Marinelli, well, we learned that the Phillies' scrub lineup can't beat a Nationals team that was determined not to get swept. Another mistake to Rob Thompson. So, all right, I understand not needing Bryce Harper. Give him a day off. But he got Cal Stevenson, then he got Edmundo Sosa, and he got Garrett Stubbs. I feel like it's negligence to think you could be without Stubbs and Real Muto voluntarily. You know what I mean? I feel like that's negligent. All those guys can't have all. Like, what? What are we doing? Rohan, like even taking Johan Rojas out of the game today. It seems negligent as well. Like he's swinging a hot bat for you as of late. And you're going to go with Cal Stevenson? Really? Is that what we're doing? Is that the decision that we're making? That seems ill-advised. Don't like it. Don't like it one bit. IBH, what's going on? We just keep running out of the second string on getaway day. Oh, keep running out the second string on getaway day. And it's clear that Thompson won't change anything. Morgan Landy, what's going on? I love Topper, but can't stand how stubborn he is at times. You have a 2-time MVP who has proven multiple occasions that he can come up in the clutch. Thank you, Morgan. No, let's have a rookie bat. Yeah, not cool. KGB, say what you will. Say what you will about the offense today. Taijuan Walker and Rob Thompson lost us this game. I will say what I want about this offense today. They got 3 home runs. Granted, they were all solo shots. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say Rob Thompson. If I had to go by names and like not a 4-2 record and not, Bryce Harper not getting a pinch hit, but like Taijuan Walker being terrible. And then from him, I'm going to go from Taijuan Walker to Tanner Banks and Matt Strahm kind of right there with one another. And then Rob Thompson. Those would be the names. The most disappointing today. I mean, is it really disappointing if you're talking about Taijuan Walker and that he didn't do better, or should that just be expected? Oh, KGB, I was at the game, clearly leaving the parking lot. And when I saw Cal Stevens' face, I knew it was over. Call up Mick Abel. All right, call up Mick Abel. Ooh, Steve Lang. This is some Sun Tzu stuff right here. Art of War. Thompson isn't a bad manager because he makes bad decisions. He's a bad manager because he makes no decisions. Well, I think it's still a bad decision. I still think it's a very bad decision to not have Real Muto, Harper, even Weston Wilson, and Rojas. All those like guys out of the lineup at once. That's kind of taking a win for granted when you got Taijuan Walker on the hill. Spurgeon King, this is some of your finest work. Who in the Dippin' Dots is Cal Stevenson? Timothy B, hey, Farzetta. Hey, what's going on? The manager is a moron. And I really don't like calling anybody names, but that manager is not the one to get this team over the hump. And what is their record all time on Sundays? I don't know. Is it terrible? All time? Wait. All time on like the Phillies all time since 1883? I don't know. Walker never met a lead he couldn't give up. That is true. Lot going on in the chat today. I appreciate that. Brandon Kelly, wouldn't mind seeing Mick Abel called up. Keith, yeah, at Atlanta, then KC next. Good luck. Thank you. Good luck. $18 million a year for Walker, says Keith. Yeah. Astros ate $30.8 million when they outrighted Jose Abreu. It happens. Yeah, they're eating it. Are we back? Okay, are we back? 37 and 37 in the last 74 games. Yeah, I'm not worried about the are we back yet because the Phillies have to prove it against better teams. I would have loved to, again, see them go 5-1. They didn't. So now go make me feel a hell of a lot better by taking on the Braves and taking on the that other squad, the Kansas City Royals. All right, thanks everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful as per usual. Oh, wait, hold on. There's one person in here that I don't usually get in here. Lee Parsons, what's going on? Find a way to dump Walker after the season. Tired of him. Tired of this with him. There you go. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful. When we come back, we'll take a look at where the Phillies are headed after this. You guys stay right there because it's important now. After a 6-game homestand, there's a 6-game road trip. Every game wildly important. Back in a few. Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Oh, you guys, have you guys taken advantage of all that FanDuel has to offer? If you haven't, start now. You've heard us talk about FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Well, we have something a little different for you. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. What? Yes. Here it is again. Now, through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of Sunday Ticket, NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel any time. All courtesy of the incredible people at FanDuel, FanDuel.com. And how about these amazing odds you can look at right now when it comes to FanDuel World Series odds? The LA Dodgers are up there plus 330. Phillies at plus 480. They have leapfrogged the New York Yankees at plus 500. The Baltimore Orioles plus 800. Houston Astros plus 1,000. The Cleveland Guardians plus 1,500. And how about for the MVP? Shohei Ohtani's kind of in the lead by a lot. He's up minus 1,600. Ketel Marte is up there at plus 800. Marcell Ozuna plus 4,000. Francisco Lindor plus 5,000. Ella De La Cruz plus 8,000. Right there with Bryce Harper, who is at plus 8,000 as well. That's on FanDuel. So just visit FanDuel.com/lockedon. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon to download America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel/lockedon. FanDuel.com/lockedon. So where do we go from here? After their 6-4 defeat at the hands of the Washington Nationals, snapping their 4-game winning streak, the Philadelphia Phillies now head on the road for a 6-game road trip. They will have 3 in Atlanta, then they'll have 3 going up against the Kansas City Royals in KC. The Braves are coming into this series. They're leading right now against the LA Angels 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning. That's where they're at right now in Los Angeles. So the Braves will be coming back home, and we'll see how that one shapes up there. But the rotation has been shaken up a little bit for the Phillies as they head on this road trip. Now 73-51 on the season. The pitching matchup that Rob Thompson is going with, it looks like Zach Wheeler will get bumped up to start Tuesday. Wednesday, you'll have Aaron Nola, then Christopher Sanchez. And then this is what's really interesting. You will get Ranger Suarez. It looks like you'll get Ranger Suarez back in that Royals series. So you have 3 in Atlanta, 7-20, 7-20, 7-15. Then you have 3 in Kansas City, 8-10, 7-10, and 2-10. Those 3 games in Kansas City before coming back home for 3 against the Astros and 4 against the Braves. So another tough stretch of games here. Dare I say it again, gauntlet. The term gauntlet comes to mind. So that's what we're looking at right now with your Phils when they're back at it. Tuesday night, 7:20. That game starting the 3-game series in Atlanta. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are great as per usual. There's one more thing I wanted to get to you guys. That was the current standings, excuse me. The current standings right now in the National League look like this in the National League East. Phillies right now 7.5 games up on the Braves. The Braves win. They'll just be 7 games back. The Mets 9 games back. The Mets already lost earlier in the day. They fell to the Marlins 3-2. So Phillies hopefully get a little bit more luck on their side, and the Angels have a little bit of comeback in them. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure that you guys are locked on to Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Like and subscribe to Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Be back with you guys Tuesday night following the Phillies opener against the Atlanta Braves in Atlanta. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hit like and subscribe. See you guys later. Bye.